Good afternoon, Pep. If we could start with the health of the squad ahead of this semi-final. Sergio Aguero, for example, has scored some important goals down the years at Wembley. Could he be back? Is he fit?
No, not yet.
And the rest of the squad, everyone else okay?
Yeah, they are okay. Tired, but good mood, and they are okay.
There was great excitement in midweek seeing Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham playing together, such young prospects. And I think you'll probably agree that a lot of us on this side, the media, have questioned perhaps some of the selections of Foden and how many minutes he's had over the last couple of years. But when you see how he's playing now, does it just cement your belief that you've handled it absolutely perfectly to develop his potential?
It's not about what we believe in the past. Is what they show on the grass. So footballers have to show every single day. So the journalists will talk a lot about the past, talk a lot about the future. Future in football is present. And present every day, it doesn't matter what we have done, it's what you have to do today. And today everybody's involved and talking social media and the players and have to talk on the grass. Is the only way they can defend the prestigious and win all the present and win all the future. It's simple as that. So when Phil, in that case, everything we get right now is on the grass, not in any other situations. And he's going to continue being there. It depends on his performance, not what he has done so far in early age, young age. Give him more chances to play in the future. You have to every game win something to stay in the position that stays in this club, in this team, and playing every day.
He has been playing so well of late. You've spoken about that, and when he has been picked, you've been playing him Lion by and large on the left-hand side, which has meant that Raheem Sterling has been on the bench. At the moment, is it a case of either or with those two, or could you? So, for example, select them both this weekend? And if so, which one of the two would you move, given Phil's been so comfortable out there?
Of course. So if you know a little bit the trajectory of this team, or the selections, the answer is obvious. Of course, they can play together. They play many, many times together. We have players like Phil can play in, I would say, in 5 positions, and Sterling Farage can play in 3 positions. So everyone can play in few positions. So it depends on them.
Thank you.
Simon Stone, BBC, please.
Hiya, Pep. Are you surprised at how quickly Thomas Tuchel has made an impact at Chelsea?
No, I know him from because I know him from Mainz. And when I was in Munich the first season, and after he went to Dortmund and spent maybe 1 or 2 games to see exactly the way he want to play. It was so quick. Of course, it's different that to cover the team, take over the team during during the season. But we have a lot of experience. I've been in a top club like Paris Saint-Germain, now another club like Chelsea, and I knew it from the beginning he would do a good job.
I suppose they have got the same situation as you have, in that they've just come off the back of a big European semi-final, and they've got to get up for big games like tomorrow. So how difficult is it as a manager going from a big emotional game like Wednesdays and then having to back up so quickly into another big game, and then it's game after game like that?
It's much, 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 much easier. Imagine play that game after not qualify for the semi-final of the Champions League. It will be tougher. So, of course, I would love to have more days. First to enjoy our qualification a little bit and have time to recovery and to prepare better the game. But the schedule is the schedule. And when you are in contender in no competition so far, so you have handle this schedule. There's no complaints at all. Today's the guys training well. And tomorrow we're going, to face one of the best teams in Europe without discussion and try to do good performance to reach the final.
you always say that your players can't play every single game. It's impossible. But do you have to, for big games like this, do you have to try and get your best team on the pitch?
Yeah. Maybe it's going to play the best team on the pitch tomorrow to win the game. I'm pretty sure I'm going to tomorrow to play in this stage of the season. I'm going to play the best team to win tomorrow. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Ian Abrahams, thoughts for that?
Hi, Pep. How are you doing? All right.
Right.
I know you said before when I've asked you about the quadruple that it's not possible, but let's just assume that it is still possible. How big a week is this now for you, the 2 games at Wembley, in deciding how many trophies you're going to win this season?
Yeah, I know my answer to this lovely question. We are not in the position to talk much further. I know I said in my first answer when. So you want to talk about the future and the future and the future. And the reality is the training today and the game tomorrow is the only I'm concerned. The rest, I don't care. Absolutely. I could care less, I would say.
Kevin De Bruyne the other night was absolutely outstanding for you in Dortmund. I mean, he really led the team. He picked the team up and was outstanding. We often say you wouldn't swap him for any player in the world. Are you that thankful to have him in your team? You really wouldn't swap him for any other player on the planet?
Yeah, he's arriving in a good feeling. I think against Leicester play after international break was outstanding. The game he played against Leicester. And after the games he played, he didn't play against Leeds for try to everybody be involved. And in Dortmund play good. And arriving, I think the last more than half 6 weeks we have ahead in the best condition mentally, physicality, and extend the contract. And the club is not just, I think, good for him, for the family, for ourselves, for everyone. So hopefully can continue in that level.
And finally, Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel, the kindest way I could describe it is that the way of playing is pragmatic. Some people have said the play is quite boring. In terms of the way you've seen him under Chelsea under Tuchel, very different to the Chelsea before under Frank Lampard.
Every manager play in the way they believe. Frank did an incredible job in the first seasons. Like we could not sign players and qualify for the Champions League. He had made an incredible run in the Champions League. I admire both as a person, as a manager. So tomorrow we face Thomas. That he knows how I admire him and how good he is as a manager, and he's doing a good job. Will be a good battle, and ready to face this game.
Guys, if you're looking to asking the embargo, now's a good time, but we'll go to Fred Caldera just before then.
Hi, Pep. After being so demanded by Borussia Dortmund in both legs and still getting the result, do you think that mentally wise, you are maybe in the stronger position you've ever seen this squad in?
Always we were strong as a team. So I said many times that it tells the knockout game in the Champions League, the margin is so minor. So in that case was penalty, in other cases could be disallowed it. So, and everything can change, and the team is the same and the mentality is the same. So I don't want to ruin this competition, what we have done good during 10, 11 months. I'm sorry. I don't want to judge. I never judged in the past, having success in my old teams, and even not had success in the last stages for the Champions League. For 1 or 2 games, ruin all the season. The season is every day, every 3 days. And when one team arrives in these stages, fighting for all the titles, all is my compliment, my respect for these players. Like we didn't have break for the last season after defeat in Lyon. We didn't have holidays, and look the season we have done, overcome a tough situation in the beginning. So that's why, of course, the results help a lot, and we cannot deny how all the backroom staff are incredible delight. The players, the first ones to be in semi-final for the Champions League. So come on. So sometimes when it's tough and you need time and you spend a lot of years to get something, you give more value, more credit. And that's why it's so nice. It's like life. Everything you get immediately or without effort is not nice. It's not nice for the future. It's not. Don't give don't give ourselves the deserve what means. We know how difficult it was to reach the semi-final, and that's why the happiness is even higher that it would happen against Monaco, for example, the first season on the second ones. I cannot deny would love to reach the semi-finals before, but sometimes it's difficult. But we were there, and every season we were there, and next season we'll be there in the Champions League. That is important. Be in the Champions League next season. We'll try again. When we know that, well, we can reach that step because we did it. Now these players know they can reach semi-final Champions League, and that will be the target the next season. And sometimes takes it isn't bad. Important is be stable as a club organization and fight again and be next season again. For one bad decision, the referee, one bad performance for 1 day, or maybe 10 minutes for bad reason, are going to judge 1 season or 4 seasons because the Champions League doesn't work? Come on. So what messages we're giving to the young generations to see just 1 or 2 games? You can judge all complete season. Now we are good because we're in semi-finals, and now what we have done in the past is perfect, and we are not in semi-finals, a disaster because we are not able. When the margin, it was goal difference, not qualified for semi-finals in the past. It was goal difference. And now because, we were better, but we could go out. Doing the same against Dortmund, we could be out. The same. The important is fight and being every year there. And at the end, that's why, especially for the players like deserve, for these players, the players in the past, that we cannot do it, I'm more than delighted to enjoy the semifinals, knowing that the best way to reach the semifinals in the best moment and best form is continue fighting yourself in a competition like now FA Cup, which is the most traditional, most oldest cup in the world, and reach the FA Cup final. We will love to reach it, and after Aston Villa in the next games, Cup, and after we have something for the Paris Saint-Germain.
Obviously, you're coming up against Pep Guardiola tomorrow. He's somebody you know well.
Yeah.
How much of an influence has he been on your career and your philosophy of the way the game should be played?
Huge influence, because when he was coach in Barcelona, and I had not the chance to know him personally, I was watching almost every game. I was very impressed by the way they made success happen. By the style they were playing with their own academy guys, the offensive way, the ball possession, and I was very impressed. I think the maybe most impressive about this team was the mentality, how they defended when they lost the ball. So I learned a lot in watching the games, in understanding more of the game, how adventurous, how brave you can approach this game. So it was a big lesson. At this time I was coach in the academy and then becoming coach in Mainz, and this were almost every match was a lesson in these days. And then later we had the opportunity to play against him. It was not always a pleasure, but when you arrive on a certain level, it's of course a pleasure to play against him and to meet him and to fight on the highest level.
I know you've never beaten him as a manager, but I think you've only played 5 times. In the past, when you faced him, you've kind of always been the underdog because he was obviously the manager of Bayern Munich. They were expected to win.
Yeah.
Do you think tomorrow is the first time you will meet him as equals, as managers of 2 clubs of the same size and the same quality of players?
Yes and no. I mean, we have to accept that there is a gap between us and Manchester City. If you look at the fixture in Premier League and if you look at the fixtures in the last years, we have to accept this, and it's important. I think that we accept it without making us too small. So from next year on, from day 1 of next season, we will hunt them and we will try to close the gap between us. This is the benchmark. For me in Europe, there are 2 teams who are the benchmark, is Bayern Munich and Manchester City. But I know what you're saying. Of course, it was he made it impossible for us to beat him with Mainz. I think we had 2 draws with Dortmund, and then ended in the cup final in a penalty loss, and we had another draw at home with Dortmund. So we came close this time that we beat him, and the next try is tomorrow. I don't believe in like how big clubs are, how tough, or like how big, or are we equal or not. We have to admit that there is a gap, but for 90 minutes we are very self-aware and very self-confident that we truly believe that we can close the gap for one game, and this is the target for tomorrow. And me personally, I arrive with a team that I'm absolutely happy to arrive to compete against the benchmark in England and in Europe. And we want to have the momentum of football on our side. And if we want to have this, we have to play on our top level and to force things and need a bit of luck.
Last one, Carve.
The final one. What kind of game do you think it will be tomorrow? Will it be a very tactical game? Will it be like a game of chess almost?
I don't think so. I don't feel both teams so like chess teams, and like too much into tactical. I think that English football and City's game and our game is about intensity with and without the ball. So I expect a very intensive match and a very physically high demanding match. But we want to. City defines himself with a clear DNA and a clear style. They want to have the ball. They want to have high ball possessions, high ball recoveries. We want it as well. So we have to fight for these moments to make them suffer. We have to fight and be very, very. We have to be on point in precision and passing and positioning if we want to hurt them. And then we need to be on in every minute that we do not allow easy chances, that we don't allow exploitation of easy exploitation of spaces between our lines, and we need to be very, very brave and play with courage and play adventurous and play how is needed. It's a big challenge, and this is the absolutely right moment for us to face a challenge like this. And let's see. I expect a tough match, but a physical game, and I hope we catch the moments where we can make them suffer, so it becomes a even game, hopefully.
Declan, talk sport.
Afternoon, Thomas. 2 questions from me today. The first one, you talk about the progression in this side. What would a win tomorrow do for you and your team, and just to determine and judge where you are at this moment?
We are in a good moment. We had a setback in the home game with the red card and the loss against West Brom. We had an excellent response. We had the tough challenges that we had to face, and we had two very good matches and two intensive matches and a big challenge against Porto with a lot of pressure, with different situations. You arrive in a first leg, whereas everything is open. You arrive in a second leg, we are suddenly the favorites. We have to manage the game, we have to manage the results, we have to manage a lot of influences from outside. And I was very proud how we did this. We did absolutely what needed to be done. We deserved a clean sheet, we deserved a win, and we conceded a late goal for a loss. Okay, but if you need to lose, you want to lose a second leg 1-0 when you win the first one 2-0. So this did not affect us, and like I said, it's a good moment now to play City and Pep. They are, with Bayern Munich, the benchmark in Europe for me personally. If we manage to beat them, will be a huge boost. If not, we will have to accept and take it as a challenge to grow and as an opportunity to grow. And because we have some fights coming up, it's not only about FA Cup here. It's about top 4 race, and it is about Champions League final.
And with that, you need competition, and the likes of Havertz, Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech, who we're focusing on this weekend, Thomas. Could you just give us a bit of an insight into what the dynamic is like between those players as a group? Are they always kind of giving a bit to each other, wanting to get into the starting lineup? Could you just give us some sort of insight?
Yeah, for sure, because we picked them now for both Porto games, and I think the Crystal Palace game and the Crystal game and the second leg against Porto, we picked the same offensive guys, and the other guy, and they delivered. And the other guys need to fight for their places, and they're doing this. There is not much training time in between games in a schedule that we have, but the minutes you have, you need to use. And as you can imagine, if you have good results, if you have a good momentum, if you manage to qualify for semi-final, we are from terms of atmosphere and behavior and attitude in the dressing room, we are in a good moment. And it is very, very important that in these moments, the guys who lack a bit minutes and who lack a bit maybe self-confidence and who are not super happy with their personal situation, put their ego aside and do everything to be ready. This club here, Chelsea, is about to be ready. We have no promises to make to no players. We have no gifts to give. You have to fight hard. This is the moment in the season where in a club like this, you fight hard for your place. Once you're in the team, you fight hard to stay in the team. Once you get any minute, you fight hard that the coach maybe decides for a change. And this is the life as a player from Chelsea, and this is big fun. Honestly, this is big fun. You have to embrace the situations like this. Even sometimes it's a bit harder for some of the players, but we try to push them and we try to convince them and influence them in this positive way. That we have a tight schedule and we cannot drop 1%.
Nick Pure.
Hi Thomas, could you just give us an injury update please? So is Matteo definitely out of the game? Yeah. If that's the case, could N'Golo play another 90 minutes? And does Billy Gilmore come into your thinking if N'Golo might?
Both yes. We have the green light for N'Golo, because we had 3 days in between, which makes for him a huge difference. Matteo is unfortunately still out, but feeling already better, but still out, cannot be in the squad. And also Andreas Christensen is out, cannot be in the squad. So this is the situation.
Jim Conlon.
Hi Thomas. Thomas, I'm just wondering about your attacking sort of philosophy. We've seen in the past Chelsea have great strikers like Gianluca Vialli, like Diego Costa, Didier Drogba. Are you favourable in terms of playing the one man up top as a target man, or do you favour maybe two guys up top, or are you open to playing two guys up top?
I do what I always did when I started in academy and later in professional football. I do what I think is best for the team, and I adapt to the quality of my players. If I have guys who need to be on the pitch and are double strikers, we will find a way to play with double strikers. If we have guys who absolutely need to be on the pitch as a number 9, we play with a single number 9. It depends, and we adapt to the quality of the players. Please don't forget, I love all these guys you mentioned. I love Vialli, I love Drogba, I love Torres. I love them. And this is a huge part when I think about Chelsea, that I think about these strikers. I absolutely agree. When you look at our lineup in Champions League now, and the offensive players were or against Crystal Palace, it was Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Reece James. They're 20, 21. Timo is 24. So don't compare the big guys in their best age with guys who are 20 and 21. Don't do this mistake. And why should I dream of Vialli and Van Basten and I don't know and Gary Lineker and I don't know who was what the names of the best number 9s in the world. I mean, we have what we have, and I'm super happy with what we have. And we have strong strikers, we have strong half strikers. And we do what's best for the team, and I'm absolutely happy with our players, and we will push them, and that's the situation.
Last question in broadcast, James Ollie.
Hi, Thomas. You said last week that Christian Pulisic needs to feel calmer mentally.
Yeah.
Could you just explain what you meant by that? Is that in terms of him trusting his body or something away from the game affecting you?
Yeah, he needs.
He made progress. You think?
Absolutely. He made huge progress. He was fantastic in the last games. Fantastic. And like you say, like I said, maybe I cannot explain it even better. Like to be calm, to trust himself in terms of injury, to trust himself in terms of that he's his full fitness, his capability, a bit more calm in the in self-confidence, in being aware that I trust him. And these things, this is important for him, I think, to show his full potential. Once he's in that zone, he's a key player, he's a huge player. And he had now big performances for us because he has a huge impact physically, but also from terms of quality, dribbling, runs, and arriving in the box in crucial moments. He stepped up, and this is what I know from him, and I'm very happy about this in the last weeks and in the last games.